Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the Avengers Annual Issue 1 2023. And this is continuing the Contest of Chaos, and this is the finale for it, and I think this actually did a really good job of being an Avengers thing and the Contest of Chaos, though normally I would like annuals to kind of reflect on the stories that have been told over the year and kind of maybe just do kind of one-off kind of stuff. And this one wasn't really bad. I think that this did a better job of kind of, alright, we've got Agatha Harkness, and we learn about her doing stuff with trying to create a new Darkhold and what the Avengers have to do to try and stop her. And for the most part, that story works. The art gets a little bit weird here in that for the most part, I like it, but on certain faces, they just look really weird. And this is $4.99, so your typical kind of annual pricing, though I think that's going to be changing, that will be the typical normal issue pricing going forward for like a regular issue, so just watch out for that. Now, I think that I got value out of this, because I like seeing the Avengers dealing with this kind of craziness. So we pop off and we see that we've got our usual Avengers lineup that we have had in the Avengers comic that's been going on in 2023. Tony Stark in his stealth suit. We got Thor in his new changed up kind of outfit to his old outfit. Sam Wilson, Captain America, T'Challa, Vision, Wanda, Carol Danvers. It's funny, Clea evidently gave them coordinates to the Bermuda Triangle, and they're going after Agatha and the missing heroes, and of course we get everything pretty much laid out nicely as they're pretty much going off to do everything. It's like, alright, that's good enough to get us up to speed. It's not a complete exposition dump where it's like saying all this kind of crazy shit, but it's like, it's funny. Witches and Darkholds and Avengers, oh no. Unknown objects are appearing on the radar, 4 of them, right under our current position. Is one of those objects a pirate ship? Because that looks like a damn pirate ship rising out of the ocean. I'm like, I'm not that familiar with the creative team, but I love that they had Sam talking about that. And Tony's like, well, that seems bad. Is anything rising out of the ocean ever good? Good point, T'Challa. Fair enough, Vision, Wanda, someone hit me with some knowledge about what the hell is going on here. And then, of course, we have Vision pretty much talking about the history of the Bermuda Triangle, records as early as 1800, military planes, cargo ships, passenger vessels, all disappeared without a trace. And it appears those missing vessels have decided to reappear. So, Carol's like, alright, our thing is to find the missing heroes. And split up, teams of 2, check each ship until we find them and Agatha. It's like, alright, I like Carol kind of taking charge on that. And then we kind of see, this is where the face problems start kind of coming into effect, at least for me. Wanda's face looks kind of weird here, and then this panel here for Carol just looks odd. It's just, alright. I get that they're trying to go for, like, she's determined and everything. It just looks weird. Like, and then you shift over to here, and it's kind of, like, fine. It's like, oh, alright. It's just kind of the emotions for certain kind of things just don't come across well for me, at least. So, Tony's pretty much trying to use his tech to find any life forms, and of course Wanda's like, listen, she's using magic, your gadgets aren't really going to be able to help you here, and then Tony's like, I trust my gadgets more than your glowing red fingers. And just seeing Tony just be like, magic. And the thing is, I understand why they're going that route with him in here. He's at least a little bit more acceptable to magic. Reed Richards would definitely be like, I don't understand magic whatsoever. And fucking hell. Let's see. And then, of course, Carol's like, she's messing with magic that's completely unpredictable. Some of us already know how strong her magic could be doing the fights against their colleagues. Extreme caution. Our first priority is to make sure our friends are safe. And I'm like, yes, Carol, that's awesome, and I agree with that. So she's pretty much getting him to check in, saying that she thinks that the place is abandoned, but then she's like, ah, shit, and then gets fucking cracked out, and we see that it is Storm with glowing purple eyes, purple being more along the lines of what we're seeing with Agatha's magic. She's, of course, then laying information out to the rest of them that, like, people are under Agatha's spell, And then everybody's like, ah, someone's here too. She pretty much gets blasted off into the ocean, and then we come back out and we see all of these other heroes under the spells. We see pretty much, I don't know all of them. I know some, Wolverine, Venom, Human Torch, and some other ones that I'm not quite familiar with. And then, of course, she's trying to figure out who needs help as Storm comes in and fucking just, like, cracks her one. Tony's like, they don't seem to be responding to positive reinforcement. Permission to try something a little more aggressive. As Venom is essentially trying to eat Sam's brain. It's like, god damn! And then, of course, it's just trying to figure out how to take them. Like, Sam's like, listen, we don't want to hurt them, but we need to take them out. And then we get that something's blocking their ability, Wanda's ability to sense Agatha. It's like she's not even here, but that's impossible, as like Cyclops pretty much blasts Wanda. Let's see here. Then, of course, her comms are damaged. But Carol's able to help her out with that. And then we, of course, have a nice kind of like 2-page spread that's like teasing this stuff with the Ultimate Universe. I just kind of like that one. And then we see that Cyclops gets blasted into the ocean, and she's like, I'll pay him for a massage when he's back to normal. I'm not saying that Cyclops had it coming or anything, but that definitely felt cathartic. I understand that Cyclops sometimes has like contentious relationships and everything, but I kind of need more information on like why Carol would find that cathartic. And granted, I have not been reading up on anything on Captain Marvel except for what's pretty much been going on in the Avengers. So if you guys know any more information about why she would be like, yeah, blasted Cyclops, that would feel kind of cathartic for me, let me know. And then, of course, someone's like, I'd say, how can we help? But it seems pretty obvious that we just punch all the people in black and purple, other than Clea. And it's funny, because we get Spidey, Jessica Jones, and Clea, and of course, Clea's got purple and black, which it sucks that it like is working with the outfit colors that Agatha has chosen, but I like Clea's outfit. I'm like, yeah. And then Clea's like, yep, looks like you haven't found a way to break the control. And of course, Carol's like, we're just trying to stall. That's what Agatha is doing, stalling to finish the Darkhold. Maintaining control of the heroes and resurfacing lost ships while creating a Darkhold. She's good, but not even the best can juggle that much at once. Agatha must be close by to even conceive of holding that many spells at once. I don't know why I didn't realize it before. I think Agatha is inside the Bermuda Triangle. And then Spidey's like, my webs would be useless in there. It's like, poor Spidey. So Spidey, Jessica, and Clea help out the other Avengers. Wanda and Carol go down to confront Agatha, which makes sense. Those are your two pretty big ones that would be able to kind of detail, like, take on what's kind of going on. Though, granted, if anything, I don't mind Captain Marvel doing it, but since this is more kind of magic-based, I would potentially only just substitute in Thor with his connection to Asgardian magic and everything like that to counterbalance it. Though, if you're doing this, Carol's ability to control and handle energies would also be a boon in dealing with that as well, so that way it's not completely locked into magical kind of limitations that could potentially pop up, but still draw off the energy and use a different kind of way to deal with it. So it works out. I could see both kind of ways for that. So we see that Agatha is supposedly almost done, but she gets blasted, and she's like, no, not yet. And then, of course, Wanda's like, we could still undo this. And she's like, you don't even realize what I've done for you, Wanda. You know how dangerous chaos magic is, and you know that Earth is too damaged to contain it. Because no one else can, I'm taking on the weight of a responsibility that would have crushed you. And look what it's doing to you. You've overextended yourself, and you will die if you continue. Some things are worth dying for. Wanda. So evidently, she's attempting to do this because without a Darkhold or certain kind of, I guess, totems or containers for chaos magic or chaos energy, it would end up destroying and wreaking havoc on the Earth, I believe. Now, granted, we don't get that much of an in-depth explanation of why Agatha's doing this, but I can see that as a viable route, and definitely works within the balancings of magic. If you don't have something like that to quote-unquote try and control or contain chaos magic, it'll just run rampant. So she blasts Wanda, and we get Captain Marvel pretty much going like, you know, Agatha, you're acting like a real witch. It's like, I'm like, alright, I see you going for it. And we just get a weird kind of way of her looking as she's trying to blast Agatha. It's like, alright, that's more of a kind of Spidey pose, but okay. But as she's trying to hold off Carol, we get Wanda ruining her chances of recreating a powerful and dangerous book of magic. Good. As she's then trying to hold them off with a shield. That I really like the use of the art styles with like all the purple and how it's showing the dark hold and her utilizing points of energy, her shielding techniques in here. When you're doing supernatural stuff with this and doing it with magic, this is the kind of stuff you really need to focus in on, and this really works. And then of course the dark hold drops and Carol goes to grab it, and Wanda's like, don't touch that! And then she does, and then everything goes kaboom. It's like, yeah, you got to be careful with that. And it's just like, shit. And then we see Tony having a DTT warning, environmental integrity lost. For those of us who don't speak Gadget, that means get the hell off the boats and don't leave anyone behind. As we see pretty much red blasting out of the Bermuda Triangle. And I thought it was bad when they came out of the water. So, yep. So we see that Carol's pretty much alright. Wanda's checking on her. And then like, where's Agatha? She wouldn't just leave without the Darkhold. Agatha! We need to leave Wanda. No, not without her. I need to know why she did this, Carol. We will find her, but for now, we celebrate our victories as they get out and fly away. It's like, I do like that Wanda wanted to save her and help out. And then we see that everybody pretty much gets out of Wanda's control, and he's like, purple? I hate purple. It's like, Wolverine, alright. And then we get Sam being like, need a lift, bud? And he's like, It's like, alright. And we then ship to a beach, and we see everybody there, and Spidey hating sand because it gets into the smallest and most uncomfortable places. Everybody's pretty much back to normal. Cyclops is like, my neck is killing me. You should be grateful that's all that's killing you. I feel like I should read into that and probably apologize multiple times. It's like, good, Cyclops. And then Spidey pretty much lays out nobody's under Agatha's control. Wolverine's back to grunting at me, which I will gladly take over him trying to kill me. So I do like how they're able to get Spidey. So the day and probably the entire universe is safe now, right? It looks like Agatha didn't finish the Darkhold, but something is off. The energy she generated to create the Darkhold must have gone somewhere. Exactly. Figure out what goes on with that shit. You said this kind of magic could be unpredictable. Do you think when the book exploded it did something to Agatha, harmed her, or maybe turned her into a newt? I wish I knew. What I do know is that despite everything Agatha did, I still hope she's okay. And wherever she is, I will find her. And then we shift to another beach. Agatha coming out and be like, where is it? And she's freaking out, thinking that the Darkhold is gone. She did everything. I did it all. How could I possibly fail? You, okay? Everything begins with chaos, as somebody else is talking. I don't know if this is Agatha, because she's been the only one with coded kind of purple kind of stuff. However, this could also be the new kind of character brought up. And it's interesting, because most of the things that we've seen as, like, items or MacGuffins have now been kind of transferred into people. Similar to what happened with kind of the Infinity Stones being into the possession of certain kind of people. And we see that this kid's pretty much talking, asking if she's hurt. Dust and debris birthing entire galaxies. A single molecule evolving into so-called intelligent life. Where are your parents? Have they taught you not to talk to strange women who wash up on the beach? Unpredictable parents? I don't have parents, Agatha. How did you know my name? Who are you? Random. Lawless. I am your greatest success. As his eyes are glowing and going kind of freaky. And we learned that he is the Darkhold. And it's like, shit, that's kind of crazy. All giving away to something new and unfathomable. So, she succeeded, and now we've got a sentient Darkhold getting ready to do all that kind of shit. So, that's not good. So, overall, I enjoyed this. I liked the colors, and for most part, the action and everything kind of going on in the book. Though, sometimes faces were just really kind of weird for me, and just didn't really work out to convey the emotion that I was thinking that they were trying to convey. So, I still would recommend this, that this is probably the best kind of annual. that I've read tied to this whole kind of contest of chaos. I like that we got more of an understanding of what was kind of going on with Agatha, that she was attempting to recreate the Darkhold and all that. And now, granted, I know I would have known that if I was reading the other annuals. However, I pick and choose certain kind of ones. So the ones that like started this all off, I'm not reading. So it's like, oh, okay. So that's on a me thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, I get that. I would have gotten that if I went through with this and was going to get more of an understanding of what was going on with this Contest of Chaos. Though, if you haven't been up on the Contest of Chaos, this does a good job of just getting you into the action, understanding the Avengers, going after Agatha to stop her from creating a new Darkhold, and having to deal with the insanity of being in the Bermuda Triangle and trying to stop the other heroes under her control from stalling long enough for it to happen, even though it does happen. I'm like, we'll have to see how this kind of works out at the end. So, I enjoyed it. If you're into the art style and into the whole story of the Contest of Chaos, looking for the conclusion, or even just one to be like, you know what, I kind of don't want to read all the other kind of annuals, I think this would give you a good enough job and you get enough cool kind of action. Granted, the only thing weird with this cover is that Steve Rogers is on it, and he's not in it. I mean, he was a part of like the whole thing of like bringing up the new roster of Avengers, and he would come if called, but he's not in here, so it's just, I mean, granted, I love Steve Rogers, so I do like some scene in there, but it's like, yeah, we've just got all the other heroes that were pretty much captured, and I don't know, I enjoyed it, but I can understand if you're like, it's $4.99, I haven't been keeping up with any of the other annuals, and I just don't feel like it, you really won't be missing much. So, those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.